This is issue 5 of my podcast, The Garden of Thoughts, and you are my first guest.
Yeah, look.
Yeah, no, man, I know. So I've never actually filmed a podcast or a conversation with anyone. This is my first time doing something like this. But I wanted to have yourself on my podcast.
Don't worry, I will be. I always am.
Yeah.
And I'm bastard.
That's fine though. So this is exactly why I explained to you, I remember before, I explained to you why I wanted to have you on the podcast. But I'll explain it again just so that people kind of understand and know why. Do you know what I mean? So
it's better explain a little bit about me.
Yeah, so I think that would probably be good. So I consider you to be quite an intellectual person, a free thinker, which is quite big and important. And what I mean by that is somebody who's not afraid to think what they think. Do you know what I mean? So there's a lot of people that are told what to think nowadays, and they just kind of go with what they're told to think and believe. But you always say, no, like, this is what I believe, this is what I've experienced, this is what I know to be true. And you never shy away from that ever, which is something that I admire. Not many people can say that's what they actually do. So that's why, I kind of wanted to have you on the podcast a little bit and have a conversation. Do you know what I mean?
But you have always to keep it in mind that I will respect your ideas because I always want people to respect my thinking.
Yeah, for sure.
So I never cross that barrier where they are going to offend the people just for their beliefs. But I respect their ideas, their beliefs, their culture, whatever is it about the people.
Do you ever get to a point though where like you can see that what this particular person like is trying to say or believe or like follow is just like that makes no sense. Why go down that route? And does that never occur to you then to like draw the line and maybe stop respecting their beliefs and be like, look, like, this isn't working well, I think you should be trying something else.
You don't find only one or two, you find a lot of people like that live, that they even know they can agree with the things what you say, or not all them, but some of the things what you say, they're going to throw different things into your face and they say, no, what you believe is wrong, it should be like that because it's in this way. But it says what they think at the moment and what they are throwing to you is what they think at the moment. But soon you hear them having another conversation with someone else.
Oh, it's slightly different.
And it's a big difference.
Yeah.
So you say, what is all this bush going around? I don't know, it's something that it's people who been manipulated. It's people who, for me, he hasn't got the force inside who can say, okay, you have to stand for this and this is going to be your beliefs, your rights, and you get then, and people you're going to explain to people, and people is going to respect them even if they don't like it. But there are some kind of people who like Muppets.
Who like what, sorry?
Muppets.
Muppets, Muppets.
So people manipulate them in the way what they want, and you find a lot of that. We can see it with politicians and the people who elect them. Yeah,
that's true. I guess one thing from my experience that all of this is kind of making me think about, and I actually want to ask you to see if it's something that maybe you had similar experience to, was that I feel like for some part of my life, I found it very easy for my beliefs to be manipulated. I found it very easy for me to like change one belief into another, which changed to another, and change it to another. And like they always contradicted each other, right? And I never had like a set of beliefs that was set in stone, like fundamental values and virtues in it. Until eventually I found that that was literally only recently, right? Do you ever remember a point like in your life where you was one of those people that were like a muppet, just very easily manipulated in terms of what you did, what you believed, like what you thought. And then do you remember a point where that all changed? Do you remember what that point was?
Yeah. I come from a very Catholic family.
Yeah.
All the roots of my family are very strong in religion. And you're better than anyone to know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I grew up going into church on the weekends. My school, even being a public school, used to talk us on Thursdays for Mass. Say Mass?
Misa? Mass, yeah, Mass.
Mass,
Yeah,
for Mass and Holy Communions on Thursdays.
Yeah.
And my dad used to take us on Sundays to the main Mass, Sunday's midday. So I grew up with my dad doing that. We had to follow him every weekend, go to the Mass with the school on Thursdays. And I start questioning my beliefs one day when I saw the priest slapping one girl.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, on the face. She was in confession with him. And unfortunately, the man can hide it to tell the priest the sins, but the woman had to confront face to face the priest.
Right, okay.
On those days, I don't know how it is on these days.
Oh, so the men could hide behind like a screen.
Yeah. The men hide in
Okay.
I don't know how to call that thing.
Confession booth.
Exactly. Confession in one box next to the priest, and the woman had to knees and look at the priest right in the face and confess the sins on those days. I don't know if that is still going on.
I don't think so.
That is not fair. That is not fair at all.
Did they tell you why that was the case?
No. So I saw that little girl, because he was from the school. The little girl were confessing the sins to the priest, and he slapped her. And I say to my friend, I say, why he do that for? He says, and my friend said to me, probably for the kind of sins what she said to him. Oh no, what a bastard. That's what I say, because I always been like that, man.
Yeah.
And I went home and I say to my dad and to my mom what happened. Well, I saw. And they say, my mom, especially my mom, because my mom was a stronger in religion than my dad, she say, oh, it's probably because she had a very bad sin. I say to her, sins or no sins, she doesn't deserve that.
Especially from a priest.
Yeah, exactly. You supposed to be, you are there to forgive.
Yeah, not punish.
Yeah, not punish the people like that. And from that moment, my beliefs start changing.
How old was you then?
I think I was between 8 and 9.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, because it was young, man.
Damn.
And I started growing up, so my dad started giving us the freedom for us to church without him. And I say, no, I'm not going there.
Right.
I say, you're going to church? Yeah, I'm going to church, but I stay out in the park with my friends. Yeah, running up and down until the mice finish. And after that, when the mice finish, go home. I've been in church. And because in those days, they used to give us, the church used to give the
first reading, the second reading.
the first reading, the second, the Gospels. A page of the Gospels for that day. So I used to go and collect them and put in my pockets. I've been in church. This is the Gospel for tomorrow. I say to my dad, and that's it.
And your dad never questioned whether
my dad never questioned us, no, because my dad trusts us. Sorry with my dad. Rest in peace, my mom, but Yeah, my deals with the church start from that age, man.
Yeah, man. So then, how did you, or at what point did you start, like, I don't know, exploring your own beliefs? How did you come up with what you believe now, like today, to this point? Because I understand that obviously, you'll never stop learning, and there'll be things that like you'll discover. Even now, at like your age, you'll still be learning new things and discovering new things and finding out new things. Yeah, but from the age of 8, 9, when you stop believing, like, or like stop kind of accepting the Catholic religion, and was like, this ain't right, something here isn't okay. How then did you start like exploring your own beliefs and then building upon those, if that makes sense?
Because you know the Johanna witnesses have been, they are everywhere, and they've been for a very long time now, man. So the Johannes witnesses existed in Colombia too in those days.
The Jehovah's Witnesses, yeah.
But I just listen to them and the things what they say.
Right.
And I say to myself, they are worse than the Catholics.
They're worse.
They're worse than the Catholics. Right. Yeah? So I started with that. They are worse than the Catholics.
So what did you do then? Avoid?
So I got my point when one of the Johannes witnesses being John, and I say to him, why is the reason that when Jesus came into this world to preach love, what I say so many times, see, Jesus came into this world to preach love, and he forgot every single sin from the people who crucified him.
Yeah.
He prayed to the Lord and said, God, forgive them because they don't know what they are doing. Yeah? How can that be that you comes and say to the people, they all us, if you not do this, you're going to hell.
Yeah, to hell, yeah.
To hell. And the Catholics say, if you don't do this, you're going to hell.
As well.
And at the top of that, slap the people for the sins. Where did that come from?
I guess it makes no sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't. I said to them, where did that come from?
And like, did you actually like speak to them about it? What did they say?
I always put my point across, man.
Do you remember what like a lot of their responses were like? I'm assuming they were all very like the same. They all had like the same, or if not very similar responses to what like you were saying to them. Because I feel like people that have these beliefs, when you speak to them, you can almost like predict what they're gonna say back to you, if that makes sense. So like, for example, if I speak to somebody who's very Catholic and I question parts of what they believe in, and I question parts of like certain things that they believe in that don't necessarily make sense, they're always just going to have like an automatic response that they give me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the response always tends to be something along the lines of, if you don't follow what the Catholics tell you to do, you end up going to hell.
Yeah, because that is the easy way to condemn someone.
Yeah, and then when you tell them that, look, like, I don't think it really means that. I don't think like that's not what this particular, I don't know, could be passage in the Bible is trying to tell you, then they just kind of, I don't know, tell you that you're wrong and that what they believe is right.
Because they need to manipulate.
That's it.
They don't want to lose the power what they hold on the people.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you, at the same time when I started questioning my things about the church and start questioning my things about politicians. Because in the area where I used to live, it was a poor area. And those bastards used to come there when they need a vote.
The politicians.
Yeah.
They still do that today, though.
Yeah, exactly. So I was very little, 8 or 9 years old.
But you understood that already.
I understood the politicians. And in one meeting of those politicians, I stand up and I say, why you only come here when you need a vote? Because with the rest of we don't see you here around. They are doing this for the area where they will live, in the barrio.
And what did he say?
He's too quiet.
Is it?
It's a kid asking me that.
So was that like a similar response then to what the Jehovah Witnesses would give you when you were a Christian?
Yeah.
Just silence.
Yeah, because the silence, man, because they are full emotion for me. Sorry.
That's cool.
That is what is, man, for me.
Yeah.
And I'm very sorry when the people get offended, but that's for me. Why? Because you have to give to receive.
Yeah.
If you want to harvest something, you have to plant.
Yeah, for sure. This was something that I was reading the other day, but no, carry on. It's very interesting.
Yeah, if you want to harvest something, you have to plant. Planting that seed there, and in the way you look after that seed to grow, starting growing up, it's the way with that seed is going to be in tomorrow's day.
So why is it then that people who do choose to go down certain paths and like approach life in that manner, where it's like, if you're not doing this correctly, I'm gonna punish you, yeah? Like, why do they not think about things differently then? Why do they find it so hard to, like, I don't know, like, why do they find it so hard to just look back and be like, well, why should I be punishing so much rather than maybe giving a bit more love, being a bit more accepting and a bit more forgiving, setting a good example? Like, why do they not think to do that then?
Because for me, many of those parents grow up in an environment it was like that.
So they just pass it down?
Just passing to the kids. It's something very sad, especially when I came here into England, man. You know, in the Latin American countries, I presume in Africa's like that too. I don't know about Asia.
Yeah.
But the respect what you have for your elders and your parents is in the top of the list.
Yeah.
You always call it sir or ma'am or señora, señor, doña. Yeah. You're always going to call it like that. And it's not rude words for them. Yeah. Only probably in the mind when we are growing up. Yeah. Yeah. If one of the neighbors make us angry, we used to, in our minds.
Yeah, you say it in your mind.
Yeah,
you don't say
that's it, but you don't say it loud, and that's it. Yeah. So that is us. But in this country, when I came into this country, because I only can say about this country, man, is especially. You can see in the English people and in the black families and English family.
Yeah.
It's the swearing to the kids.
Right, okay, yeah.
You little bastards.
Yeah, you do shit, you do this, you do that, yeah.
You F this, you F that. You hear the guy screaming to the woman like that. So that...
It's setting an example to the kids.
The kids, man, they are like a
sponge.
Yeah. They absorb everything. And the way when you talk to them, that's the way when they're going to talk to you. You get mad with them, and because they hear you, when you get mad with somebody else, or when the mother, when your wife, and you throw all that word to her,
they think it's okay to do it.
So it's okay to say that. Yeah. And in the top of that, you say, little bastard, you need to piss off from me and go away. Go away. On these days, especially on these days, there's no room to have patience with the kids, because both parents have to go to work.
Right, yeah.
Both parents have to come, probably the mother, I will say, even if there are some exceptions, the mother had to come and start cooking for the kids, for the husband.
Yeah.
And the husband come, and instead they have the wife going to the pub.
Yeah, for a pint. The ways. Yeah.
Just have a hard day working.
So you're saying that they neglect the kids and
Yes.
don't have the patience.
Exactly,
the kids up
exactly,
properly.
man. If you take notice of that, you're going to find a lot of people like that.
Yeah.
And living in the same way, generation after generation after generation.
So would you say that this isn't something new then? This is something that's been going on
It's
for a
not
while.
new. It's been going on for a while.
But then, back in the day though, maybe like as recent as you could say 50 years, there wasn't no real obligation for women to work though, because the man himself could provide entirely for the household, so women could be at home. So this is only something that you see quite recently, that women have to start working now and have to work full time, have to work a lot more and have to earn a lot more, because obviously the cost of living goes up and not one person can provide no more, innit? So how was it different back then?
The difference was, man, if you ask people, talking to the older generations in this country,
Yeah.
is as soon as you were reaching the age of 16, a council flat was waiting for you.
Oh, so you had your independence.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Because it was very hard for your family to keep another man having 2 or 3 kids.
Yeah.
They need to grow
for
up
sure.
after you. So that pushed the person out. It's not like in the Latin families. The more that we live together, the better for us.
Yeah, I was going to ask, do you think that it's better then to not push your kids out, so to say, at the age of 16, 17, 18, but do you think it's better that kids or your children leave the house at that age, or do you think it's better that they stay until a lot later, until they're actually ready?
Just tell me one thing. How you feeling what was you feeling when you reached this thing? You weren't ready for the world.
You think you are, innit? Like when I was 16...
You are invincible.
Yeah, and you're quite ignorant.
Yeah,
So when I was
yeah.
16, 18,
Yeah.
maybe even like 19, 20,
Yeah,
I
exactly.
thought like, I'm fine, I can do this by myself. Like, I don't need my parents. And I wanted to leave the house.
Yeah.
I wanted to leave the house, but I didn't because I couldn't.
If you ask me that question to me, I will say this. There are 2 different kinds of personalities.
So it depends on who you are.
No, it's not depend much on who you are.
Right.
Yeah, say it that way. But it's like, if you are a woman, I will agree, you got more chance than the men.
Yeah, I can agree with you on that, to be fair, yeah. Yeah.
And I say, if you are a woman, you got more chances than the men.
Of leaving that young and surviving,
Yeah.
making it work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can agree with you on that. I can
And
agree
you're
with you.
going to reach further than the boy who left that
At the,
house.
yeah, the same age, yeah.
Yeah. Why? Because the woman have more conscience
Yeah, they are.
of the surrenders, man, and the woman think more. No much in her is in the what can come into her.
Mm.
Us are prepared to enjoy.
You sacrifice everything for hedonic pleasure.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if everybody was like that, but I was like that.
Yeah, quite a lot of people like that. I was like that, for sure. I was like that, yeah.
Yeah. But the woman think when every single sense of the body. Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. So then back to the question then, would you recommend, like, or like, let's say for example, at what age did you leave your house? How old was you when you left?
30.
30, okay, as a while.
29.
Okay. 29, 30.
29.
In fact, you know what, it's good. So would you look back then and to your younger self, tell yourself, I think you should probably leave the house a lot younger, maybe like 20, 21 at most? Or would you look back and tell yourself, you know what, you did the right thing by staying until you was 30?
I think I did the right thing until I stayed to 29.
Yeah,
Yeah.
29,
Yeah, because we were a family of 6.
yeah.
Yeah. My dad was the only provider.
Damn.
So
So Marley didn't work?
my mom worked at home
Yeah.
doing tailoring clothes
Okay.
Yeah. She used to work at home. That's the way to help my dad
Right.
with the money. But I tell you this, when you are the oldest in the family, in my case, because I can only talk about my case, I started seeing things, started seeing my mom, my dad, having arguments for stupid things.
Yeah.
So things start putting ideas in your head, leaving sometimes scars. It can go with you for the rest of your life, so not there.
Yeah, that's true.
So those things told me the best what I can do, even if my parents want to give me my studies, sacrificing all the right for me to carry on studying. On those years, I decided to go to work at a very early age, because in Colombia was allowed to do that.
And that was to lessen the stress for them.
Yeah, because when my support what I started giving to them, the things was less stressful for the home.
Oh, okay, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, a bit more the money, a bit easier especially for my mom, who was the one who had to do everything with the money. So that was the point for me. So I decided to stay with my parents, and I decided to come to England. And just to provide for them.
Yeah.
Just to provide for them. And helping with my other brothers and the sister.
Right.
My sister. So they got education what they want, and I got what I want, and my parents got what they want.
Right. Interesting. You know what, yeah? This is something I was thinking about actually recently, that I thought I could ask you, and I'm quite happy you brought it up because now I can ask you, yeah? Is, so you tend to see then quite a lot of Colombians, I guess foreigners in general, but I think this tends to happen a lot of Latinos. And I guess from my own experience, Colombians, yeah, because that's like the majority of people that I know. So they have a similar story to you, whereas they want to be able to like go overseas to work and provide and send money back, and in hopes of being able to go back for a better future. Yeah. So I'm assuming, you can correct me if I'm wrong, when you made plans to leave Colombia, you never intended to stay here forever, or did you? Like, did you come to England with the idea that at some point you would go back? Or did you just come to England and think to yourself, I might just stay here?
No, I come to England and saw what England offer, and saw how the things what you can manage to do here. I started living my plans. Yeah, say probably in 5-10 years time
Go back. Right. Because, so what I wanted to ask you then was that, like, you tend to see quite a lot of Latinos and Colombians in general that have that same idea. It's like, yo, I want to go to like the UK or let's say America or wherever it is, and I want to work for like 5-10 years, send money back, and then I can go back and like, I don't know, open a business, or like I can retire, or I can do this and I can do that, or I can do the next. But then what ends up happening is that they come, and then I guess I kind of know why, but they come, they work, they end up getting in a house and this and that and the next, and yeah, they might send money back, but like they never get to a point where it's like, right, I'm ready to go back now. I did what I come here to do, and I'm ready to go back now. I can leave London, I don't have to worry about anything. I can go back, I can open a business, this, that, and the next. But it never happens. They always end up getting stuck here. They always end up getting just like sucked in. And I think, me personally, so what I think is that they come to London with like their bad habits from Latin America. So when you're in Colombia, you see a lot of people after work, they go, they buy a good drink, they chill on the streets, they come in un perro, like they have a hot dog or whatever it might be, and like, you know what I mean? Like they're always just like having fun. And when you come to a place like London where everything's so expensive, fun comes at a cost. Like it's very expensive, right? Like to go to a pub at the moment, it's like £6-7 for a pint. And that's expensive. You have like 4 of those in one night. It's a lot of money, yeah. So obviously they come here, they don't get the best jobs. A lot of them clean.
Cleaning.
Yeah, you know what I mean? A lot of them clean and it pays just about enough. But then instead of being very organized and like structured with their money, at the end of the week, they go out, they party, they go, you know, buy a few bottles at the club, or like they might go to a pub and drink with their friends and whatever. And for me, I feel like that's why they end up getting stuck here, because they bring those habits over and they can never get out of it, and that's why they get sucked in. But then it might be something different though. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. Like, what do you think it might be? Like for my parents, I think I look at them and they were very like organized and structured, and that's why after a long time they was able to go back. And I feel like the only reason why they actually stayed was for myself and my sister, because they always used to say to me, "Oh, like we never went back earlier because you said you was gonna study and you dropped out of uni. So why are we still here?" And I would say to them, "Well, go on it. Like no one's keeping it here by force." But it took them 35 years to finally like turn around and go back. So why is it then that a lot of Latinos who have the idea that they will come to England, provide, like work, provide, and like send money back so that they can go back eventually in the future and just end up getting stuck here then? Why? Is it for those reasons?
I don't know. I only cannot talk about my reason. My reason is, I'll tell you this, man. When I come into this country, I used to have about 3 or 4 jobs.
Yeah.
From 3 o'clock in the morning to 10 o'clock in the evening.
Damn.
Yeah. It was like that.
Yeah.
All cleaning jobs. All cleaning jobs. I love cleaning, man. Yeah, honestly. That cleaning here give me more than what the carpenter profession what I learned in Colombia, honestly.
Yeah, you know what? It's the same for like my parents, for example. Like my mum studied at university, sociology or social studies. She come here and clean for how long? Yeah. And it gave her so much more than it's true.
You make a big difference, man. Yeah, you sacrifice yourself, thinking in the future what you're going to have. But the problem is you forget to enjoy.
Right. Why is that?
But that happened to me because I came here, I worked hard, I used to work hard Monday to Friday.
Yeah.
Friday night was time for parranda.
Yeah, to party.
Yeah, party. Yeah. Saturday morning, go back to some extra work, extra job in cleaning with the company.
In Guayabao.
And there in the evening, go out again. Sunday, stay in bed with the hangover. Yeah, to wake up on Monday and start the same routine. Oof. Because that I did that.
How long did you last doing that though?
I last time started living with Fiona.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that last time I started living with Fiona. So my life was like that. In that way, I helped myself here, my family in Colombia, and a few others who was needing help on the base.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You say you live a happy life?
I'm living a very happy life.
Yeah, can't see it not now. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and my idea was going back to Colombia, but I met Fiona.
Stayed here, things changed.
Everything changed.
So then here's a good question then. This is something that I think about as well, kind of, not always, but so you came with a plan, yeah? And you came here but your plan changed. So really and truly, how important is it that you have a plan? How important is it that you have something that you aim towards? Because if it's going to change so drastically how it did for you, you don't make
my goals in life, I don't put it to be so hard, man, because when you put a goal there, it's better start moving the goal a bit by bit than put it further down and reach it.
Yeah, that you can't actually reach and attain.
You know,
yeah.
For me, I start bit by bit because, like everything in life, you don't born and carry and go to run straight away from the moment you're born, no?
Yeah.
It's step by step, man.
Yeah.
So, having goals far away, reaching far out, and to try to reach it then in the near future, well, in the far future, for me, that doesn't work. It
Because
doesn't work.
there are a lot of people though that might argue or might say that having a goal like over there is good because you got something to aim towards, and then the focus isn't so much on getting there, it's more so the steps that you take now to bring yourself closer to that place.
Even if a goal is easy,
Yeah.
even if the goal is easy to reach, every single moment in your life is no happiness.
Yeah, because you don't have
Every single moment in your life is not that kind. Your health is going to be fine. Your health. So
Oh, your health.
your health
Yeah.
is not fine.
Right, because you don't have the goal.
No, because you have that goal, but when you make those goals
Too far away.
too far
Oh,
away,
okay. It seems impossible.
you have
reach.
to think what could happen to you, because we are only humans.
Yeah.
Something can happen to us on the way to that goal and get frustrated because that happened to us, or it could us that certain amount of time, and you're going to get frustrated because it's going to be more time to reach that goal than you were expecting,
Yeah.
and that can change many problems.
Yeah. It changes your present too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what is the point for you to put that goal there, or for me, just put it like this way? Why I need to put the goal for me that I'm going to do this kind of work, build what I want to build. For example, when I know my body is not going to give me the
result. Yeah. But then now you're just making goals that are like just impossible for you to reach and attain. So you're being delusional with yourself.
Yeah, it started like that, yeah. But that's the reason. Just for me, I say, I'm going to do this whenever.
Keep it simple. Just do it whenever.
Whenever.
Yeah.
Whenever.
And I guess that's how you found your way then. That's how you
Yeah.
that's how you ended up here. Nice and cozy in your house.
Yeah. Whenever, man.
Yeah.
Because I told you once that you don't need to be rich to eat properly. You don't need to be rich to enjoy things. You don't need to be rich to go ahead with your life. No, because if we, like me, I trust the guy upstairs.
He gives you everything.
He gives me everything.
And he tells you to not worry about what you're gonna eat, what you're gonna wear.
He doesn't need to tell me because I know.
Yeah.
I don't need to worry about him. He provides. I've been with this problem and I go nearly for 20 years now, and
He still managed to provide.
he still managed to provide.
It's true.
It's very painful sometimes, but that's part of my body and my life.
So you know what? Yeah, this is also something that I think about almost every day. Yeah, that like obviously you have this mindset that it's like you shouldn't really be so materialistic. Like God's gonna give you food, He's gonna give you things to wear, He's gonna give you clothes to put on your body, and like, you're gonna be fine. He's gonna provide always as long as you believe and have faith. Yeah. But like, I step outside the door. Yeah, I walk outside and I see materialism everywhere. Like people are trying to dress in the best clothes possible. They're trying to drive the best car they can afford, or like maybe sometimes can't even afford it, but they'll go get it anyway. They try to like, I don't know, on social media, for example, a lot of young people try to like portray this lifestyle that they live in that's lavish and it's this and that and the next. And a lot of people kill themselves just to become rich. Do you know what I mean? And like, you look at these people, well, like, you look at the generations that are like growing up, and even the ones that are like my generation, like 25 and above, 30, 35, and all they care about is like superficial and materialistic things like money, fame. They care about having high social status and all that sort of stuff. Like, at what point did people lose this connection with like God that tells you those things that you care so much about and put so much important value on don't really mean anything? Like, you should be living your life way differently, but you're not. Like, at what point did it all go wrong? Or like, why is it that it still continues to go wrong? And there's so many people that just can't open their eyes and understand that like life is not just like materialistic wealth. Like, life is just so much more than that. Because I feel like in a way, if you're able to let go of all the materialism and all the superficial things, it's at that point where God really can provide for you everything that you need in terms of what you eat, what you wear, like the things that you need on a day-to-day in order for you to, like, for example, get from the house to work, from work back to the house, like just simple things like this. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Yeah. Why is it then that people still, regardless, continue to be so superficial about everything?
Man, that's for me, the base of this society is the family. The family is that base. The foundation of that family, the stronger it is, the better for the person.
Right.
Why? Because if you family teach values. Yeah? You're not going to get educated for your parents. You're going to learn morals, values.
Yeah.
That is what make a human being.
Yeah.
Yeah? So the stronger those values in the family, the better for the kids in the family. Why? Because you grow up learning that you have to respect yourself. Not for anybody else, for you. Yeah? How you reach that? Taking conscience what you see in the morals of your parents.
Yeah. So if your parents don't give you good morals and values, and if you see that their morals and
you
values
don't
set
expect the family to grow up in a good condition, man.
Yeah.
Because it's not the same a guy come full, the brain full in alcohol or drugs to the house, start swearing, shouting the kids. It's not going to be the same when my parents come from work and say the kids, talk to the kids.
Yes.
I'm not going to say to take it to bed or do this when that. No, but being around the kids, supporting them when they need it, really.
So you feel like then the majority of people that live in that lifestyle, like the superficial lifestyle, the materialistic lifestyle, is because they see it from their parents growing up?
You can see and decide if it does happen or not.
I feel like
I'll say to you on this way, look at the kids from the rich families.
Yeah.
The majority of them going to universities, I have titles and everything, and they are quiet guys.
Yeah. A lot of them tend to have like a lot of trauma though.
Yeah, exactly. And why is that?
Because of their parents at home, innit? Because of what they see at home. Majority of the times.
What is the social life of those kids with the parents?
Their parents are barely around because they're too busy out making their wealth.
Making money.
Yeah. But I guess then, that's funny, because then I guess in a way you could argue that materialistic desire is as much of a trauma for a kid who grows up in poverty as, let's say, for example, mental trauma is for a kid who grows up in wealth but is in poverty, you could say, of love and affection from their parents.
I will say this to you and take it from me. Take it, not taken from me. Just I said this to you. Put a kid from the rich family and a kid from the poor family. Give both of them a simple stick
Yeah.
and let us play.
He was able to play with a stick like
Yeah.
in a more adventurous
Yeah.
way. The poor kid, of course. It's more resourceful is what he has.
He got more resources, isn't it?
Yeah. In a way, even though he has less, he has more.
Exactly. And why is that? Because that kid is being seeing what life is bringing to him.
Mm.
Yeah? Because he has to go to play with friends by the time that the parents are busy. Or they have to go to school, when come back from the school, have to go to play with friends when the parents are busy.
Yeah.
Yeah? So his mind start developing in a certain way. The rich kids only know they have the time to play. With who? God knows. With the nanny.
Yeah. This is time to eat.
It's time to eat.
This is time for you to study.
Yeah, exactly. And it's time to go to bed and start everything again. By the following day.
That's interesting. You said something quite interesting that made me think a little bit. And it was that the poor kid lives or experiences life by what life gives him, and the rich kid experiences or lives life by what his parents give him. Yeah. So, in a way, the first one, the poor kid, is able to grow up with this idea or mindset that like everything that's given to him is given to him by God, life. Yeah. And the rich kid, everything that's given to him is given to me by another person, but not God. So when I'm older, I can give that to myself, yeah? Which tends to be the downfall of many people. So a lot of people who think that they give everything to themselves, or they know everything, or like, I don't know, like, everything comes from me, and like, I don't need God because God's not real and God doesn't give me nothing. That tends to be their downfall, innit? So it just made me think that like maybe this is why Jesus says that it's easier for a poor man to enter heaven, or it's easier for a camel to enter through the eye of a needle than a rich man to go to heaven. Because as a poor person, you can appreciate and value everything that comes to you because it's given to you by God. That's the interesting.
Because you appreciate more.
Yeah. Gratitude is very important.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And where did you learn gratitude?
At home.
So the morals where you've been receiving at home.
Yeah. Because if everything's just given to you, you're not really grateful for.
What you are grateful for? What they are giving to you because it cannot stay with you. You cannot grow up when your own parents because they are busy making money.
Yeah. It's true. Interesting. Hey, I had something else I wanted to ask you, I wanted to speak to you about. Because I know you're very big on like supernatural things, ghosts, you're very big on like aliens and all that sort of stuff. And I guess it also kind of branches from the conversation we had the other day about like what life actually is. Like, what are we here to do on earth? You said we're here to experience everything. Like love, laughter, pain, anger, happiness, sadness, good and bad, blah, blah, blah. And that when we all die, everyone goes to heaven, innit?
Yeah.
So then,
I believe.
Yeah, this is your belief. And I actually thought about this, but I promise you, Oscar, I've been thinking about this ever since you told me, yeah? And I've been trying to see where my belief, like, how it compares a little bit, because it's quite similar, but it's not the same. But this is not what we can speak about that after, but it's not what I want to speak about. So then if everyone goes to heaven and dies, yeah, how, like, what then are ghosts? How do you explain like spirits that like walk around and like, I don't know, play with people, torment people? Like the shows that you watch where like people record like they see a ghost through their window, or like chairs start moving and stuff like that. Like, what is that? How do you explain that? What do you think it is?
Ghosts.
Yeah, like what are ghosts? If everybody goes to heaven, like what's a ghost? Do you reckon that's just people in heaven that come down and just like...
We are energy, isn't it?
Yeah.
We are energy. And soon the energy comes out, this body is nothing, this body is nothing. Yeah? So energy lives parts of that, you can live parts of that energy in the places where you used to love.
Okay.
Stay for because you have a good time there, or you want to piss someone off, or or to scare someone.
Yeah, you think that's what it is?
That's what it is. Because, man, I can't say that the gods are bad. No, you hear that in those programs, they're scaring people. Now, of course, because they're scaring people. Who want to see the spirit? Nobody wants to see the spirit. But there are some people who love to see spirits.
Yeah, you're not wrong there.
Yeah, and go and look for them. And if I know, you start calling out until you're going to find one. Yeah, so...
You reckon that's how it is?
That is how it is, because your mind can create things.
But then is it then actually a spirit manifesting itself, or is it just your mind creating stuff for you?
No, because they manifest sometimes, yeah, I know.
And I don't know why, but man, I don't know if like you can say that they're not bad, like none of them are bad, because some of them, like people get possessed, for example.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, spirits can torment people, so how's that not bad? Like, you can get possessed and like, I don't know, do crazy things, like speak crazy things, do crazy things, like, you know what I mean? But then would that be a spirit then, or would that be like a demon?
I'm going to deny that, but I haven't seen that, and I only see movies about that.
Oh, so you think it's not true in real life then?
No.
What about what happened in La Finca, where my mum lives? Or my mum has a finca, and there's a priest out there, and they went and they exorcised a demon out of some kid or someone, and then when the priest went to go get in the car, supposedly the demon that he exorcised, like, just hit the reverse, slammed the pedal down, and he just started going back and forth, reverse drive, just totaled the whole car, like wrecked the whole car. Like, things like that, for example, would you say that that's a spirit and it's still not bad, or would you say that's something different now? That's like a demon, for example, because you don't believe in Satan, right? You don't think
I don't believe in Satan, man.
So then how do you explain that, just the corruption of man in general? Like, how do you explain people being so like dark and twisted?
In people?
Yeah, in people.
Why people want to be so dark and
twisted? And like evil. Does that not come from like the devil himself?
Yes, they choose to be like that before they come into this world. Because it's what I say to you.
Yeah.
Do you think Hitler is in hell burning there? No. Why? Because it's a godson too. Because he want to go to this earth to have the experience of killing people in millions.
I just don't know how much I can agree with that though, man, because the Bible clearly says thou shalt not murder. Do you know what I mean?
That man, the Bible, I don't know, I got my doubts on the Bible, man. You know that too.
I know, I used to be like that too. I used to have my doubts in the Bible too, man, but until I started reading it, I can't really say I got doubts in it anymore. But look, here's where, so I believe like very similar to what you believe, that like before you come on earth, with the man upstairs, you sign a little contract, you say, look, like, before I come down, this is what I want to do, yeah? I want to come down here because I want to experience, I don't know, being a leader of a country. And he looks at it and he says, alright, I'll let you do that, innit? Go inhabit that body down there, grow up, become a leader of a country, do your thing, do you know what I mean? However though, yeah, where like our beliefs kind of separate a little bit here, is I don't think that you can say to the man upstairs, I want to go down and be a leader of a country, but I also want to kill 3 million Jews. And the reason why I don't think that, yeah, is because for as long as you're on earth, like, we are the stewards of God's earth, yeah? Like, God, in the Bible, God always makes it like very apparent, yeah? Or Jesus makes it very apparent that what's here on earth is not ours, and we're just looking after what God gave us, yeah? And that if we take what God gave us and multiply it, he'll be happy. So essentially, if we come to earth, look after it, and like do good and try to do as best as possible as we can, he'll be happy. So then you could argue that our moral obligation for as long as you're on earth is to do good and be the best person, the best individual that you can be in order to be good to those that are around you, innit? So again, there's the Mosaic law, which is thou shalt not murder. So obviously murdering is a bad thing. So if you now do these things, knowing that they're not okay and knowing that they're bad, Jesus tells you that the Father will call you for eternal condemnation, innit? So you have to answer your sins, the blasphemy against the Holy Spirit, which for me looks something around it looks something like doing willingly choosing to do bad, knowing that it's bad, yeah? Because sometimes you might make a mistake and not know that you're making a mistake. Do you know what I mean? Like, for example, if I broke something and I was too scared to tell you, so I didn't tell you, but I didn't know that by not telling you, things are going to get worse. I'm not choosing to willingly do bad because I didn't know.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that's the human nature that Jesus tells Peter when he's like, before the cock crows 3 times, you will have denied me, innit?
Yeah.
Right. So, like I said, you have this due responsibility. It's like an obligation for when you come on earth to do good. Yeah. So if you now decide to start doing bad and just willingly choosing to do bad over good, well, you have to respond for your actions, innit? You have to you're gonna have to pay for it one way or another.
What about this? Now we put it the way that Hitler is not going to help because
he didn't know that killing 3 million people
even
was
to
bad.
kill 6 million Jews, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because he killed 6 million Jews. What about this? What about if Hitler signed that he's going to kill? Yeah? Before they come into this war.
Yeah,
but
yeah, one.
6 million of souls upstairs
Say they would like to
to God,
experience.
we're going to experience pain, and what is dying in the camera de gas, or by bullets, or by hand, starvation in this concentration camp by the hands of this guy. 6 of them signed for that. 6 millions.
Yeah, they sign up for that. I don't know, man. I just don't think God would let.
Why not? Because they want to. One of those, many of those want to die in the gas chambers. Yeah? Many of them want to die by hunger in the concentration camp.
Yeah.
And many of them want to die by bullets from the same regime. So there were 6 million who were killed by the same, under the umbrella of the same man. Yeah? So it's not necessarily Hitler's a bad person.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. It's these 6 million who want to die under his umbrella.
So this is also something that I was thinking about. Yeah, that like, even though I personally think it's our due responsibility to be the best version of ourselves as we can be whilst we're here on earth. Yeah, I feel like everyone's morality or everyone's like guide of values and morals are not the same.
No.
Because no two people will ever be the same.
Yeah.
And like the way I understand life will be different from how you understand life, innit? So, again, going back on the idea of blasphemy against the Holy Spirit, which is willingly choosing to go against what you know is good. And the idea that I told you that like there's going to be things that I might not know are bad, but I'll go down that path by accident or wherever it is, which is different than willingly choosing to do bad. Because everyone understands life so differently, yeah, there's some people that think that certain things are not bad and that's why they're compelled to do it. And like, technically, you could argue that that's not blasphemy against the Holy Spirit. And I think you knowing, or that feeling that you have inside of you that says this is good, this is bad, the reason why it's different for everyone is because before you come down on earth and you sign that contract with the man upstairs, that kind of determines that morality that you have guided inside you, innit? But then, like, so this is kind of like back in the idea that the reason why Hitler killed 6 million Jews is because he didn't know that killing 6 million Jews was a bad thing. And there was 6 million people upstairs that said, I want to experience what that's like, and they came down and they did it. But then, where I'm not too sure about that though, like, I just can't really get my head around it, is that there's still things that are set like clear, black and white. Like, so in the Bible, what I realized, and a common theme, is that there's certain rules that are just very like, this is it. This is how it is. These are the rules. That take it for what you see, yeah? And then there's other things in the Bible that's very open to interpretation, because I feel like you have to be able to understand it in a manner that you can understand it. Because in order for everyone to be saved for eternal salvation, there has to be something in it for everyone. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if the entire Bible was black and white and was just like, this is how it is and you have to follow it, I don't think everyone can understand that. I don't think everyone can comprehend such a thing like that, innit? And if that's the case, then not everyone can be saved. And if that's the case, that's not what God wants. God wants everyone to be saved. Do you know what I'm saying? So in those set of rules that are very black and white, just very like, boom, this is how it is and this is what you need to follow. The rest of it, you figure it out. It's just certain things that like, you can conclude it, or you can like, I guess, formulate into one, which is love God above all and love your neighbor as you love yourself. Now, you wouldn't kill yourself, or like you wouldn't willingly inflict harm upon yourself. So why would I do that to my neighbor? Why would I do that to somebody else? And within that like conclusion of what all the rules are, is things like thou shalt not murder, like you shall not what do they call it? Like curse against your brothers and sisters. Do you know what I mean? Like you shouldn't commit adultery, you shouldn't steal, you shouldn't like be envious and jealousy and all that sort of stuff. Because there's implications of like being jealous or envying someone or whatever it is. And again, that goes further and deeper. But like, that's the only thing that stops me from like believing that the man upstairs will let you, like willingly let you come down to earth to kill 6 million Jews. Because although it's important that you experience pain and suffering, and although it is important that you experience anger, it is important.
And sorry to interrupt you, but it is important to experience pain and suffering to the person who wants to experience that.
Do you not think that everyone experiences
It's
pain
not
and
for
suffering?
everybody. It's not for everybody, and the reason it's not for everybody is for one simple reason. Some of us die young.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of us not even reach the birth because miscarriages or abortions.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's those things are not for everybody, because all lives designed to end before even start.
So do you think then that those that are upstairs and they say to God, I want to come down and just experience happiness and joy, they die young? Because I feel like it's only after a certain period of growth, like, that you start experiencing pain and suffering, and that comes maybe like once puberty starts kicking in. Once puberty starts kicking in is when you realise what pain and suffering really is.
I don't know if I told you what happened to me when I was a kid.
The dream that you
The
had.
dream what I had. Yeah, you still remember?
Yeah, I remember. But I guess for those listening who don't know what it is, you might as well say what it is.
Yeah, that dream.
Yeah.
From that dream reaffirmed most of what I am now.
What was that dream?
Why the dream? Because the dream was, I went to bed.
Yeah.
When I went to bed, I started dreaming that I was playing with my brothers in my grandma's place.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was in her bar garden where they got the coffee trees in their house.
Coffee trees, yeah.
In the coffee trees. We were playing around the coffee trees. I saw this cloud, very white cloud, posted in the top of the one of the coffee trees.
Yeah.
And from that cloud came an angel.
Yeah.
And asked me, and he told me, Oscar, he said to me in these words, man, Oscar, the master has sent for you. It's time to go. He told me that. When he said that to me, man, I feel the chills in my body. I feel the chills in my body.
Yeah.
And I say, no, No, it can't be. Can you ask, please, the master? He can't give me more time because I have a lot to do here. Please go and ask him. So he comes, he disappears like he comes from the nothing. He gone. Yeah. Man, and I still see him myself there, standing at that coffee tree, waiting for him to come back. And he came back. And he said to me, Oscar, the master has considered you wish. You go the grace of the master.
Damn. And he went.
Boom. Man, the angel disappeared and I jumped from that bed screaming to my mom and my dad's room. Mama. To say what happened, he said, I'm going to die. And I told my mom what happened to me.
Yeah. What did your mom say?
My mom just give me a big hug and told me to sleep with her for the rest of the night. You know, she told, God sent for me. I saw the angel. He came say to me, he sent for me.
Yeah.
And I said to him, no, please go and give me more time. I was ready to die, man.
Oh, that's scary.
Jesus, man.
So how did that reaffirm, like, that your belief, like, this is the correct thing that I need to believe in?
For me, because that convinced me, man, that what we do it now, what I do it now, I was prepared to do it. And because my dad, he was suffering, he was painful, because I have many fractures in my body. I lost 2 fingers. I had about 10 or 12 fractures in my body, my ankles, my nose, everything, man. But I have my happy times, and I still have my happy times.
You had everything.
So it's the time come when you die young. For many kids, they are painful because they prefer to have that suffering. But for many others, it's the happiness. They want only to experiment the happiness, others the pain, and that's it. Bye from this world.
Damn.
Because it's all. Because this is what I'm going to do to you. It teaches you that you are alive.
Yeah, this is one thing that I thought to myself too, that I experience pain because it reminds me that I'm alive, like this is my body.
You are alive.
I'm here, yeah.
When you smile, and you smile in front of the mirror, sometimes you see the light in yourself.
Yeah.
That's true or no?
That's true, yeah, that is true. That is very true.
So, what is the freedom that God gives us to us, taken away with all these rules? When He said to you, you have the free will to do and go and experience what you want. Why He had to take away from us? Because if you do this, it's wrong. If you're going to do that, and you're going to hurt your brother, it's wrong.
I think it's more so in a way, He just kind of says that, like, understand that your actions will have consequences.
But consequences, who you pay for that here, not there.
Yeah, because for me, like, the state of heaven and the state of hell, like, when it refers to you, when it says this in the Bible, yeah, that the kingdom of heaven is upon you, I don't think, this is my personal belief, I don't think the kingdom of heaven and hell are places you go to after you die. I think they're states of being whilst you're still on earth. So that kingdom of heaven, for example, like the state of being in heaven, like, reflects something like you being very close to and following very, like, meticulously what Jesus tells you to do. And the state of hell, so being in hell on the other hand, is the opposite. It's choosing to go against everything that Jesus tells you need to do, and then you live your life, like, quite miserable and quite angry and quite, like, I don't know, like, bitter with everybody else. And that for me is what hell is.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I can kind of agree with you on this one here, that like God tells you that, like He just tells you these things. Like Jesus gives you instructions and said you should follow this if you want to be in the kingdom of heaven. Like to basically just be like close to God,
close to hell.
Yeah, close to God, happy and this and that and the next. But He says that if you don't do it, just understand that like you'll be in a place.
Exactly.
There's consequences here. Like, okay, yeah. I get what you mean.
Because there's going to be consequences. Why? Because some bastards, the politicians, start creating laws to supreme us.
Yeah.
And with the bastards of the politicians came the church, who was more terrible than politicians.
And they do the same.
Because don't forget, the church used to kill the people.
Did they?
Yeah.
Is it?
The Inquisition. The Spanish
Yeah. It's true. They used to go and conquer other lands in the name of... Yeah.
And they supposed to, when you have some powers and you were a witch for those powers when you have, and you go to be burned.
Yeah.
And then because you love studying the stars and you have that knowledge about the stars,
you worship paganism.
So you're going to be burned.
And that, yeah.
Why? Because the church is that suppressed. It's suppressing people all the time, man.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, because I think that's something that, like, this is a common thing that I've realised too, or something that, like, has really opened my eyes quite a lot from reading the Bible more and more, is that the more and more I read the Bible, the less and less that I agree with, like, religion, that I agree with, like, following these laws that they tell you need to follow. And not just religion, but, like, governments, politicians, and like all that sort of stuff. I just tend to like agree with it less. It makes less sense to me now than it did before, and before it never made any sense to me before, you know what I mean? So yeah, I think I can agree with you on quite a lot of the things that you say.
Let me tell you this. If you only have to follow two simple things in this life, because you don't need to follow 10 commandments, 40 commandments from the church, the laws from the politicians, nothing to live good. Just follow these two commands what God give it to you. It's love yourself how you love God.
Yeah.
And because you love yourself, you can love your neighbor.
The same way you love yourself.
Yeah. And that's it. Because if you love yourself, you're not going to hurt yourself. So if you love yourself, you're not going to hurt your neighbor. But we don't have time to think on that. And there are two simple things to follow, but we don't have time. Because we are busy making money. We are busy here trying to see how we can the guys over there.
Yeah. So that for me is what makes the devil real though. This is why I believe in the devil, because I think although obviously you have freedom of choice, you can choose whether to do good, whether to do bad. So you can choose whether to follow what Jesus tells you or not follow what Jesus tells you, like I feel like, and like I said to you, like I do think it is our due obligation to come here and just be good people and try to do as good as possible to yourself and everybody else around you. I feel like the corruption then of your mind, or the corruption of these ideas and thoughts, and the corruption of doing good, which compels you now to do bad and to willingly do bad, that comes from the devil and that comes from Satan. That's my belief in it, because that's how now you get a lot of people that are just so like, they're just so caught up in greed, they're so caught up in themselves, they're so caught up in chasing like hedonic pleasure, which is instant gratifications and just like short-term things that fulfill them short-term and not long-term.
Sorry, Juancho, but don't you think we have the devil inside? It's because instead of we thinking in, sometimes we dedicate more time to how to make money. Because don't get me wrong, everybody needs money. Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. And everybody wants money. Yeah. Because that's what we need in this world. Money. That is what.
So for me, it's the devil that told you that should be your main focus, and that your main focus shouldn't be like, I don't know, loving yourself and like finding.
I don't say it's the devil. I say it's you. who are telling you sell that.
Your own selfish desires.
Yeah. It's because why you dedicate more time to how to create money? Why you not dedicate more time how to have love next to you, try to make a good for one of your neighbors? And that is going to bring you that money what you are looking for in a different way.
Yeah, that's what I
In
believe.
gratification
That's what I believe.
for you and your heart. Because how you going to feel your heart in that way, man, money cannot do it. Money cannot do it. Let me tell you this. You have seen many times when you're going to pay for your groceries in the shop. In front of you, because it's been happened to me, in front of you is this lady, open the, where she put all the coins,
Yeah.
counting coins by coins,
Yeah.
and taking all the money, because she is probably short the money to pay for the items what she want to take home.
Yeah.
And she says sometimes, put this away because I
Can't afford
don't
it.
have afford it.
Yeah.
And many people, probably people with money in their pockets and in their wallet,
People say, no, put it there, I'll pay for it.
or let her go.
Or they let her go. Oh, okay, yeah, I get what you're saying,
Yeah.
Yeah.
If for one guy say to her, when I say guy is men,
Whoever, yeah.
say no, leave it there. I'm going to pay for that. Man, that guy who did that, believe me, have a heart.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
pure gold.
yeah.
And in the way that that guy is going to feel himself after he did that, and he doesn't know anyone to tell him that,
Yeah, he just keeps it to himself, but it makes
Yeah.
him feel very good. Like,
because it's like that.
the,
Why? Because you did it to yourself. Because you did it to yourself.
interesting.
And that is the best feel that you can have. You don't need money for that.
Yeah.
Because you don't need money for that. Another thing, you go in on the streets, in the wall of the hall for take the money out,
Yeah.
cash machine.
Yeah.
Usually is a guy there with the
Oh, the homeless person.
writing that
Yeah.
spare change,
yeah.
please. They are not allowed to do it, but they do it. Why people have to tell them go to work? Or what you doing with the money where the government give it to you? They not asking for nothing. Well, why the people have to criticize them because it's down there?
It's easy because they think that because they're doing it and that's how they live, the next one has to do it as well.
Yeah, so they have the right to criticize. Oh, I'm paying my taxes, so I have the right to criticize because that's the money what you are living with my taxes.
Yeah.
Yeah? But you forget it's not only him who's paying taxes.
Yes, everybody else.
It's everybody else, isn't it? It's better for that person carry on the street without looking that guy than say that comment.
Yeah, for
Why?
sure.
Because that comment, all what they can say that comment is create karma for you.
Yeah, it's true. Do you believe in the concept of karma?
Because if you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. And you know, when I listen to those words from Bambi, they are the main words for people to learn about other people.
What were the words? What did Bambi say?
If you don't have nothing to say, nothing nice to
Just
say,
don't say
don't
nothing.
say nothing at all.
Fairs. So yeah, do you believe in the concept of karma then?
I believe in concept the karma
Yeah.
just for one simple reason.
Go on.
Why can't I want to hurt you, man? Why?
Why? What?
I want to hurt you. Why?
Why do you want to hurt me?
Yeah. Why?
You can have many reasons for why you'd like to hurt me. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't see it, man. I don't see it.
Mm.
If you are my brother, you are my family, even because they are wars, but many people think it is, oh no, it's religion, I don't follow religion.
Yeah.
But no, you and I are created from the same thing.
Yeah. Everyone's wanting to say.
Exactly.
Yeah. So then, how does that like aid your belief in karma?
Why?
Yeah.
Man, sometimes you see people in pain and you feel the pain.
Okay, you feel the pain for them, not the same, but you experience pain for them.
You experience pains for them.
Right.
And sometimes you see people so happy that you feel happy.
I get what you're saying. So would you say then that your idea of karma isn't do good, receive good, do bad, receive bad, but it's more so like you experience
You're going to
experience of the people that's around
the
you.
people is around you. And sometimes you don't need to say nothing. Sometimes.
Oh, you look at karma from the other side of the window.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I never thought about it in that way. Yeah. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying now. Because I feel like a lot of people, so the way that you explained it is sometimes you see someone in pain and you experience that pain, a lot of people would look at that scenario as though they're the person in pain, and they say that if I experience pain and I give pain to the world, pain I will receive back. But you're kind of looking at it as the recipient of what I'm giving to you.
Yeah.
So you look at it from the other side of the window, basically. It's interesting, I can't lie, it's a good way to look at karma. I never thought about karma in that way.
Because man is I don't know.
That's why
It's what I say. I'm the kind of bastard that I go against most of the things, man.
Yeah, you think this is why I told you. So going back to why I even wanted to speak to you in the first place, because the things like this, and you look at things so differently, man, and it makes me sometimes just like, whoa, it's very interesting, man. I never thought about it that way. So yeah, no, it's true, man. I can't lie, it's true. You look at things in the way that you like to look at it. Like, nobody told you anything differently.
No, I don't let people.
And I think that's such an admirable.
Yeah, I don't know. If you can't speak English, don't ask me.
Bro, my English is just as bad, man. It's just that I've actually got like an English accent, that's it. Oh, man. Yeah, bro. No, that's cool, man. That's cool. That's very cool, man, honestly. I never thought about it that way. And that's why, I guess in a way, that's why Jesus says, one of the things that he tells people is that the eye is the lantern of the body.
Yeah.
So if you choose to see good you will receive.
You will see it, yeah.
And if you choose to see bad you will receive. So basically just be mindful of what like you see and allow yourself to be present in, because that's how you see things on. So that's kind of like karma then, isn't it?
Yeah, and another thing what Jesus says sometimes, I don't know in what phase of the Bible is, but when you go out, when you come in, and that's it.
Oh yeah, dust the sand off your shoes and off you go.
If you go.
Why?
Because you don't need to bring nothing with you, man. Not even the dust.
You don't. You just need to take yourself everywhere you go. Yeah. Interesting. Alright, cool. Well, I reckon we can call it there, innit? I reckon we can
I don't know if
leave it there. No, it's a very good talk, man. I can't lie. I think I'm very pleased with how like this whole thing went out, because nothing was planned.
I know, but it's good for you.
Yeah, man. No, I think especially for my first guest as well on the podcast, I think I was probably the best person that I could imagine to have. For sure. I don't think this is going to be the last one I have. Don't think this is going to be the last one. You're going to be on this a lot more as well. Don't worry, man. Don't worry. But yeah, man, thank you so much for accepting my offer,
Yeah, no, welcome.
for sitting down and having a conversation with me, Oscar. And I really appreciate that always. You know that. And
He's a big player.
yeah,
It is.
look forward to many more. Innit?
I don't think
go.
many people want to.
Want to hear?
Yeah.